you woke up this morning and you're still just using ChatGPT to chat and have conversations and ask questions, and you see this tab at the top of the mobile app that says work and you don't quite know what it is, that's the other 95% of ChatGPT that you're leaving on the table. But after this video, you're going to know exactly what it is and how to leverage it so that you can get more out of using ChatGPT. My name is McClain, and I help entrepreneurs grow their business with AI. The primary difference between the old version of ChatGPT and this new version is that this version has access to the files on your local machine if you give it to it. It also has its own browser so that it can browse the internet, and it can use the apps that are on your machine to do other things for you. And as long as you understand that primary distinction, then everything else that is confusing people is going to become very clear to you. For instance, you can open up ChatGPT on your desktop inside of Chrome, and you'll see a chat and a work tab at the top of the screen. But GPT Work on the web does not connect to the file system on your local machine because it's cloud-based. It's a web app. It runs through the internet. Whereas the ChatGPT desktop app is downloaded to your machine. And so the difference is like this. The web app lives in this skyrise in the sky, so it can't access your files on the ground. The desktop app lives on the bottom floor, and it's able to mingle with all of your content, your files, and your data on your machine. And just so you can have a tangible example of what I'm talking about, if I open up ChatGPT Work on the web, like you can see on my screen right here, and I click on plugins, you'll see there's an entire list of plugins that I've already installed, and there are hundreds more that I could possibly install inside of this account. But if we come over to ChatGPT and I click on plugins, not only is there a public tab with all of those same plugins inside of the ChatGPT web app, there's also personal plugins because these live on my local machine. So if you're just using ChatGPT Work to do things over the internet, like look at your email and things like that, and it doesn't need access to your files on your system, then use ChatGPT Work in the web app. But if you want ChatGPT to have access to the files on your system or to create files and then store them on your system, you're going to want to download the desktop app. But here's what OpenAI actually did yesterday, because it's a lot sneakier than just launching a new mode or a new way to use ChatGPT. And it's so much more than them just launching 5.6 Soul, which is an absolutely incredible model. OpenAI finally released Luna, Terra, and Soul after it was held up by the government. And these are the class of models that were deemed to be on the same level as Fable 5. Not all of them, but the primary one was Soul. And it is an excellent model. But that's not all that happened. The Codex app, which you may or may not have heard of because it was primarily used by developers, was quickly becoming a source for people to use ChatGPT for knowledge work. And so instead of OpenAI having two different products, Codex and ChatGPT, they decided to merge the two into one. And so now we have ChatGPT Work and ChatGPT Codex. Work is for the people who are doing knowledge work, coaches, consultants, course creators, real estate agents, insurance agents, and any other type of business or knowledge worker, philosopher, researcher, scientist, student, and so forth. And ChatGPT Codex is for people who are doing software engineering, vibe coding, building pet projects, or anything like that. And depending on which one you are, the interface is going to change slightly because there's slightly different tools and insights that each person needs to get their work done. For instance, if I go into ChatGPT Codex, you can see that it's going to show me a lot of code, and this is written in a way that a software engineer or developer is going to need to see this. But if I switch back over to ChatGPT Work and I go to a relevant conversation, then you'll see that the documents are primarily marked down. And this isn't a mistake. This is by design. So the first thing you want to do is go to openai.com/ChatGPT-work and download the desktop app. If you already have the Codex app, it's going to update and the Codex app is going to go away. Now, if you like, you can keep the Codex app icon, logo, etc. on your machine instead of the ChatGPT app icon. Now, if you go to the top left corner, you can see that there is ChatGPT Work and there's ChatGPT Codex. Codex is for developers and Work is for getting work done. They could probably come up with a different phrase, but essentially this is for all knowledge workers. Anybody who works with ideas, who creates documentation, writes files, and so forth throughout the day. Now I've just given ChatGPT some market data and I'm telling it to run OfferKit. Now ChatGPT is going to walk through a very detailed workflow and process that I've created to take anyone's market data and turn it into a high ticket offer, a low ticket offer, mid ticket offer, a course, a service, an agency, any business idea that audience is going to be looking for to help them solve a particular problem. With the old ChatGPT, I used to have to upload several different files and then use a router prompt that would essentially put this workflow together like duct tape. And I would have to sit in my computer and say continue about 15 to 20 times to get through the workflow. But with this new ChatGPT agent, ChatGPT Work, ChatGPT can work through all of the steps on its own. It can read the instructions. It can read the reference files. It can read the algorithms. It can execute the math. It can do everything at its proper turn. And you don't have to use GPT Soul. You can use Terra. Terra is a very capable model. And on some benchmarks, it ranks as high as Fable 5. And while that's working, let me give you a quick tour. So if you come to the top left, you have new task, because when it comes to ChatGPT Work, it's not about chatting anymore. The way people use AI has gone so far beyond chatting. People are not sitting down and primarily using AI to type messages back and forth unless it's casual use. People are either speaking with AI or they're getting AI to do a lot of work for them. So whenever you have a new job for ChatGPT, just click on new task. And then if you come right here, you'll see this one says systems. This is a folder on my machine, and this is where my files are stored for all of my plugins and items like that. And so what you want to do is choose a project. Now I already have an AIOS project right here because everything I do with ChatGPT Work, Claude, or any other AI system is in this single folder. So if I choose this and I go AIOS, I know that it has access to everything that it needs for my business, my projects I'm working on, my research, or anything else that I'm doing with AI in particular. But perhaps you have something that's more detailed that you're working on and you want the context to be narrow. Then all you have to do is choose new project and then use an existing folder. Then I can choose any of these folders that I want to scope the conversation down to. So for instance, I may use BIA Vault, and then I click open. Now this conversation with ChatGPT, or the work that I give it to do, is going to be done in the context of everything that's within that folder. And now I can ask ChatGPT to do the most detailed, comprehensive, and possibly even complicated or complex for me business analysis possible, because it has access to all of my business data right there in that single folder. Then you're able to set up scheduled tasks that fire off without you sitting at your computer. So for instance, you might set up a daily brief, a weekly review, or a follow-up monitor that fires off on certain days, every day, or whatever schedule that you want and at what time that you like. And if we open this daily brief schedule, you can see that it's a very short prompt. Give me a morning brief with what's on my calendar, important unread emails, and anything that needs my attention today. But what I want you to see is that you can make this as long as you want it to be. Like, there is so much that you can include inside of these scheduled tasks. So if it's a complex piece of work that you want to get done, and it needs to be done on a daily basis or every Friday or every Saturday morning, you can just write that instruction right there in its full detail and then have it run and do the work for you. And then you can have it run in a new task, or you can have it run in an existing task. So if it's doing the same thing every Friday, you can have it in one task where that task or that thread, that conversation, that session, however you want to look at these on the side. Looking at them as chats is probably a good way to look at them, but it can always run in that same one. So that's one thread, one session, one conversation where you're always doing the same work over and over. Then depending on the task that you're running, you can place it inside of a project or outside of a project. You can choose the model that does it. So for a morning brief, I might say, you know what? I don't want 5.6 Soul to give me a morning brief. I want 5.4 Mini to do it because I don't want to burn a lot of credits just to get a morning brief of what's going on today. And so just let your imagination run with the work that you can automate there. But this next part is probably my favorite, and it's plugins. Now, like I said before, there are public and there are personal plugins. Now, public plugins are going to be apps and platforms that you can connect to. Like, for instance, data analytics is one that was created by the OpenAI developers, I believe. And inside of these plugins is a bundle of different tools that it will use when necessary to perform its tasks. And there's also a set of skills. So there are 14 different skills that come inside of this one plugin bundle: analyze data quality, build dashboard, build report, create data context, design KPIs, and more. There's an Airtable plugin. I think this is probably the first one you should install because there's just so much you can do with this when you're building your own tools. There is a PayPal, a Stripe plugin so that they can look at your customer data and help you process your business. Computer use is one you're going to want to install. Control Chrome with ChatGPT. These are all great plugins that add additional capabilities to ChatGPT to work with other platforms seamlessly. The next item you're going to see on this list is sites. Now, they're very similar to Claude Cowork live dashboards, but they're different in a lot of ways. And I haven't fully explored the full capabilities, but from what I have been able to test and what I am reading about the privacy policy, the terms and services that you have to agree to in order to use them, sites are very powerful. You can actually collect data. You can create sites where people can post content. There's a lot of value that OpenAI is giving people through sites. You can actually create a website, your personal website, and host it with OpenAI. Or if you create a web app or some tool that you use for your personal workflow, you can set it up so this is private. For instance, this is only visible to me. It's my AIOS command center. It has everything in it. It's basically a mix between Monday.com and Pipedrive. It's a complete CRM project management solution that I built personally for myself. And I don't have to pay for those tools because this is included with my ChatGPT subscription. And it's maintained by ChatGPT, so I don't have to go in and manually do all of that work. And now we finally get to chat. Chat is where all of your chats are now from ChatGPT. And so if you click on it, it's going to open up this small box where you can talk to ChatGPT and you can open it in a new window. But these are my recent chats. I can tap see all and it's showing me my full history inside of ChatGPT. And I can chat here. If I click here, you do have access to 5.6 Soul High. But if you want to use 5.6 Soul Extra High or even Ultra, then you have to use ChatGPT Work. And if I look at the two different models and the offers they created, Claude Fable 5 on high level created the owner's 90-day off your plate install, where essentially I will work with business owners to help them install these systems in their business, which is something I already do. And if you're interested in that, you can click a link in the description to see what we can do for your business. But then ChatGPT created an offer for a different pain point for content operations for people who want to create content faster. But it didn't pass it. It didn't tell me I could ship it because it didn't pass the feel stupid saying no evaluation. And one thing with AI that's very difficult to get it to do is to say don't do something. It is such a yes man. So I'm inclined to trust the output that ChatGPT gave me more than the other because it actually gave me a very good reason for why I shouldn't launch this offer. When it comes to the usage between these two platforms, things could not be even more different. With Claude, everything is on 1 meter. Claude Code, Claude Cowork, and even Claude Design all draw from the same monthly subscription and from the same usage limits within a 5-hour and the weekly limit range. Whereas with ChatGPT, you have ChatGPT Work, ChatGPT Codex, which do draw from the same usage well or meter, so to speak, but then regular ChatGPT chats, which you access on the web, have a completely separate meter. So if you run out of usage with ChatGPT Work and you can't use the agentic capabilities of ChatGPT, you still have the regular basic ChatGPT with the 5.6 Soul High model that is Fable level intelligence included in your subscription. And you can still do everything in ChatGPT that you were doing before. And if you don't know what that is, that's essentially everything you're going to be doing with ChatGPT Work without the agent. So you can still write code in ChatGPT. You can still create images. You can still create PDFs, presentations. You can still reason, flesh out ideas. You can still do everything that you're doing in Word. You just don't have the agent doing the work for you. And it's a little bit more manual as far as storing your files and things like that. So it's definitely a major plus. But which offer is going to be the best one for you is the question. And if you're a knowledge worker, I'm leaning towards ChatGPT Work. And the reason why is this. You already have years of data over there. If I click on any of my chats, there's an option in the top right-hand corner right here where I can add this to a task. And now this hyperlink label is to the conversation. And now I can start doing work around previous conversations that I couldn't do before. And so OpenAI is essentially giving us this way to go back in time. I don't know how far you want to go back, but maybe a month or so, and you can start redoing some of that work you were trying to do with ChatGPT with the new models. And that's one of the biggest things about agents is the tool use, the ability to actually do things with the information that it's given. So the question remains, did ChatGPT Work kill Claude Cowork? Absolutely not. Both platforms have great models and they're very similar in how they access your files and the work that they do. But they do both have clearly different value propositions when it comes to the consumer. But as always, if you got value out of the video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want more content about ChatGPT Work, and make sure you check out this next video where I'm going to do a deep dive into the new ChatGPT because there have been so many changes over the last few weeks and months that this is a completely different app, a completely new ecosystem, and it deserves a refresh. So I'll see you over in that next video.